Okay, so today's video is about how to use Polygon Amoy testnet since Polygon Mumbai testnet is down and deprecated. We cannot use that anymore. So we have to change to another testnet which is provided by Polygon, that is Amoy testnet. It is still same as the Polygon, so we can just directly get into it. For that we have to search Polygon Amoy testnet. Let's just get rid of this. Polygon Amoy testnet. Once you search it, you will firstly find this link. Okay, so once we get into this, we can see all the details we need. Since I have already set up my MetaMask and it is currently on Ethereum mainnet, we can just get into the settings, then networks, add network, then just add network manually, just copy paste the information, and we will get the wallet ready for the Amoy testnet. RPC can be used from this, but if this doesn't work, we can use the Alchemy dashboards URL. For that we have to just log into the Alchemy dashboard. We will get into that in the coming part, but for that we need to set up wallet first so that we can deploy the. After the URL setup, you will see it is suggesting that this symbol of the chain is Matic, but if this doesn't show, you can just write Matic. This is optional, but you can just copy the explorer from here and just paste it. Once saved, you can just switch to Polygon Amoy testnet and it will be ready. You can see that this is showing Polygon Amoy testnet. You can just copy the URL and then go to the explorer. This is just the address, so we need an explorer URL. We can just click in this and it will open. Turn on. Let's just paste our address. We can see that currently there is no transition there because the wallet is just set up, so we need to add some testnet faucet like testnet tokens, which is Matic. We will get it from the Polygon faucet of official URL, which can also be in this URL. I will just share it, but if it is not in the description, you can just search for it. Just write Polygon Amoy testnet, you will get the URL of Polygon technology. It is their official site, so we can just get to here. We will need to connect to our Discord, and once it is connected to Discord, you will need to join the Polygon. You will need to join the Polygon channel. Then they will give you the network testnet. So make sure to do that. Since I already have set up in the next browser, here I have already connected my Discord, so we need to set the Polygon and MetaTestnet. Matic is already here, so just paste the address. Okay, so address is not here. We will just go here, copy the address, and need to go here. Polygon and MetaTestnet is selected, token is Matic, and the address is this. Just submit invalid details. Let's just refresh the tab. So okay, let's just go here, Matic, and then paste, then submit, confirm. It will just give us okay, so we can see the transition in the testnet also that it has given us. Okay, so Polygon currently has two explorers. One is this OK link. We will be using this one since we will be using API of the OK link to verify the smart contracts, but we can use this one also. We can use this one also. Here you can see the transition. If you refresh it, okay, it is showing that 0.2 Matic has been received from the faucet. So this is just the basic setup on how to set up the Amoy testnet on MetaMask and get some testnet faucet. Now we will deploy the contract using Hardhat, and then we can verify and run some transition to see if how the new testnet is performing. So after we get the faucet, just we receive the faucet like 0.2 Matic, but we can only request within the next 24 hours. Like if we have requests now, we can just request another to 0.2 Matic after 24 hours. So we need to be careful to use it. So we need to deploy a smart contract and then verify it and then run some transaction. We'll be not be using this URL for the explorer. We will be using OKLink Amoy explorer. So for that we will need OKLink API key. I will show you that in a bit, but since we need to set up the basics, so let's just head over to there. I will create a new folder. I am using Ubuntu, but you can use any Windows machine or Mac. That doesn't concern this. So let's just create Amoy deployment. I will just name it cd Amoy. Okay, so we can just use code dot to open the VS Code. Okay, so here we have already I trust this author. Okay, so let's just I already have node set up. My node version is 18.18.2, so yeah, npm version will be something 9.8.1, but that doesn't mean that we cannot use on the latest version. So you can use the node 20. I am just showing that I am using node 18.18.2, so you can use any node version. So let's just go and see how to set up Hardhat here. We just need npm this command and run it. This will install the Hardhat. After the Hardhat is installed, we can use npx Hardhat in it to initialize the Hardhat, and it will create some folder structure for us, which will contain a contract folder where we will write our contracts, then the test folder to write the test cases to test the contract, and it will also contain ignition, which is a deployment module for the Hardhat to deploy contract. Now Hardhat has made it quite easy to deploy the contract using JavaScript, so we can just deploy using the ignition module, and it will also create the address at the end of the deployment, so we can just get that address and paste it on the explorer to check if our contract is deployed or not. And for verification we will just write some more commands. We will see that in the documentation, but for now we just need to write npx hardhat init. So it is asking us some question like, do we need a JavaScript project, TypeScript project, TypeScript with Vim? Vim is something we will look into another video. It just creates some hooks, like already write it code of functions that we can use, but we will not be using in this video. And if you have already set up the basic folder structure, you can just create an empty Hardhat config file, but since I don't have any of this, I will just create a JavaScript project. We can use TypeScript. If you need type conventions, you can use that, but I am not using TypeScript in this video, so I will just create a basic JavaScript project. So project folder is still the same. Okay, we need a getting node. Okay, then we need I will just know it. Then we need this Hardhat tool because it is necessary for the deployment, and it is coming from the Hardhat Foundation. That is something that maintains the Hardhat project. So let's just do that. After that, it will install all the necessary folder. You can see the contract folder. It has just the basic log.sol, and then we have the ignition to deploy the contract, and then node modules where all our npm packages are stored, and the test folder to contain the log.js test cases. We will not be testing this contract. We will deploy a basic ERC20, so we don't need to test that, but we will be looking in the test cases like how to properly test the contract using Hardhat. It is quite a lengthy process because you need to write a lot of JavaScript, but I will be preferring to write the smart contract test cases in the Foundry. In the upcoming videos, we will be using Hardhat with Foundry like a merge project. We can use Foundry to deploy also, but we will using Hardhat to deploy using Ether.js. Then we will testing it on the Foundry, but we will also create a video where we can just deploy the contract from the Foundry and then test it also, because Foundry allow us to write test cases in the Solidity, so we can just use the advantage of knowing Solidity and also testing the contract in Solidity. So that is something. After this we can just install some packages to just write the contract. Let's just rename it for now erc20.sol. we don't need these. Okay, so you can see that code is just not looking good, like it is just gray, so we can just install extension Solidity. Let's check this, any extension is available. I would use this one. We can use this one also, both are popular, but I prefer this one. After this is installed, you can just see that it will get some colors because I like colors. Blank code just is boring, so just wait for it. After this is installed, we will get some tools also, like okay, I accept it. Okay, so we can see the colors now. Okay, this is much better. We can just rename this also to token.js because I will be naming my contract token. Alright, let's just start writing contract. Contract token is ERC20, but since we don't have ERC20, we need to install it. So for that we need to get in the we need to get into the npm, and then just after we go here, we can just search for the Open Zeppelin. I hope I am writing it correctly. Let's just see. Okay, let me just copy it from somewhere. Open Zeppelin. Open Zeppelin is like a library of smart contract already predefined. We can just use to inherit it and use it. I think let me just correct the spelling. Okay, so this is it. Let's just copy this and paste it here. We can. Okay, so we need Open Zeppelin contracts. Currently the version is 5.0.2. in the upcoming version maybe they just update some contract information, but for the most of the part it will be same. Just paste it. Okay, so it is installed. We can just import it, I guess. Import ERC20 from Open Zeppelin. It is not working. Why? Let's just check. If Open Zeppelin is, let's just reload it. So I think let's just Control Shift reload. I think there is some command, but I forget it. Let's just try to close this project and just open it again. Okay, let's just close it. I need to reload it, but I forgot the command, so I will do that. After opening again, we can just previous one, so we can just start to implement it from scratch. So after that we just write import, and then okay, so the previous import was wrong. I was trying to import it wrong, so we can use just zeppelin slash contracts slash token. Okay, so for the intelligence I am using control and space after at the rate. You can just get it, this thing which is showing that how many things we can import from this library. So we just need, okay, so token slash erc20. Okay, this one we need it, you can just import it like this. Okay, so it is imported. The reason it is showing this error because we need to create a constructor where it will be requiring a name and a symbol for the token contract, so it needs that. Okay, so I have caps lock on, so just remove the caps lock. Constructor, it needs ERC20 also, which will be passing some my token. Okay, so I am just passing it from here. You can just pass it from the parameter also, but since I am not using parameters, we can just use mtk. Okay, so we can just create a constructor like this, so that is not currently producing any error. We can also pass in the constructor anything like your name. You can just write it like this: string public name. So public state variable is missing override specifier, I think. Okay, so we can just use it like this. We cannot use public on string, I guess. And then set your name like name. Okay, so name will be, my name is Vakar, so just write it like this. But we are not requiring this at the moment, so just remove it. So after this we need to create something like a mint function. So after this we need to create a mint function. We can just create a function name mint token, which will be requiring two parameters like address, user, I guess. We can just create, or two. This is much preferred syntax. So after this we need to specify how many token we want to mint in the function, like to this address how many token should be minted. So we can also create a parameter for that. Is write amount, and we don't need to return it, we just need to make it visible like a public or external, so that it will be visible on the chain. If you want a function that should not be visible on the chain and you want to use it internally, you can just write private or internal. Both keywords are similar almost. So after that we can use the mint functionality from the ERC20 that will mint to the address 2, and the amount we just then multiply it by the decimals, but since it will be minting in the waveform, so we need to multiply this. For some chain we need to do that, but for most of the chain we should not be doing this. It will be done by default. We need decimals. Okay, so this is just the basic contract with the mint token. You can create a burn functionality also, and some function will be already present like transfer from in the contract. We can see after that deployment. So let's just compile it. npx, let's create so that you can see it clearly. npx hardhat compile. Okay, so it did compile it, so we can see that these two folders were not present before. In the artifact there is a library which takes interfaces, token, and utilities, which is utilized by the ERC20. So in the build info we can see that it just some bytecode and syntax which we don't need to worry about, so let's just get rid of it. And in the contract it just create a JSON file with all the ABI which we can use to import function and then use it on the front end. But that is something we don't need to care right now, so let's just remove this. Okay, so now we need to deploy this. For that we need to create this module. Okay, so we need this build module. Just remove these two function and we can name it anything. I will name it token since the file name is token, but you can name it like 20 or anything or your name. Just remove this and then we need to return something. Alright, so the module is returning, like we will return a token contract, so we can write token, just copy this and return it. We don't need to pass any parameter, but if you will be providing a parameter or a value like sending ethers or any Polygon testnet, you will be sending it like this. So we don't need to have this, but if you like, if you guys want to know how to deploy a contract with parameters and value, just comment it so we can create a video for that also. But for now we just need to check the Polygon Amoy testnet how it is working, so we don't need that. Okay, so for this we need to deploy a contract. Since we don't have any parameters, we just need a contract name, so let's just check. Okay, it's token, so just copy and just paste it. Okay, so our deployment script is almost ready. We just need to deploy it, but for that we need something like an env file where we will record some variables like the private key of the MetaMask and then API key of the Explorer. We will use an OKLink and then an RPC so that our information is visible, sent to the chain and it is stored there. So we need to have some sort of RPC. I will be showing you how to get all this, but just create a .env file. Okay, and then we need to also modify this hardhat, but for that we need to have something like something needs to be installed here, like the hardhat verify and also the .env npm command. So let's just go here and search for .env. I think I am writing it correctly. Let's search it. .env exact match. I think this is the correct version. 16. Let's check the version. Yeah. So this package we need. So just copy it and then paste it and then hit enter. Once it is installed, then we need something like hardhat verify Nominic Foundation one. So we will just copy this and then paste this and we can just check for the verify. By the way, this repository will be public, so you can just go and copy and search the npm packages from there also. I don't know why it is not showing, so just let hardhat dash verify. Okay, so we need this package to verify the contract, so just copy it and paste. So once it is done, then we can just hit enter, and after it is installed, we can just set up the primary keys. Okay, so in the .env we need something like a private key. Okay, so I will using backticks to set up the key. Just write 0x. Oh, we don't need backticks, I guess, because we are not passing the variable here, so we will use this the string. So 0x, we need to write it like in the format so that this, when we will be using it here, so it knows that it is a primary key with some address. So let's just get into this and just get here. Okay, just cancel it. Got it. we just need to go to the account details and show private key. By the way guys, you don't have to show your private keys to anyone, because anyone can control the private key. Once they got it, they can send all the funds to any address. It is like a master key to access your account. Since this is a testnet, I am showing you this wallet, but by the time this video is published, I will be removing this MetaMask from my computer, because I will not be using it for my personal use. Since it is for the video, that I have created a separate Chrome browser environment and installed the new account. So I am showing you this key, but this won't be available after the video. So that is that, and you don't have to share your private key with anyone. But for the video, I will be showing. Once you enter your password, just hold it, and it is showing you this key. Okay, just copy the key and just head over to this, and after 0x just paste it. Okay, so we have the set up the private key. After that we need the RPC. Just write RPC URL. You can name the variable anything, but since I am naming it like this, you can use any name. Okay, so after that we need to have the Alchemy sign in. You can just write Alchemy dashboard, I guess. Okay, so this is the one. You just head over to this link and then continue with Google. After signing in, you will get something like this dashboard. Okay, so I already have signed in from my own personal account. So this is the two apps that I have created previously. So I will be creating another app to show you. Just create a new app, then select the Polygon POS, then select Amoy Testnet. You can name it any. I will just name it test token, but make sure it is a unique name. Okay, so just test anything for now, doesn't matter. Create the app. Once your app is created, you will be getting this API key. Okay, so currently I am showing you these keys, but I will delete it after the video, so it cannot be used. By the way, my editing skill is not that good, so if it were good, then I would probably have blurred it, but for now I will just delete it. After a while I will try to improve my editing skill so that I can just blur it and not delete the keys, because it will be very helpful to use it in the further videos with the same URL. For that you don't need to set up things again and again. You can just save it somewhere for your account. But for now I will using this HTTPS version. Just copy this and then paste it here, and then we need an API key for the OK link. So I will just write OK link API key. By the way, this OK link API key is for the verification process, so we just need to write. After we can set up the env, then we can just try to write some things to modify this script so it can deploy the contract, and also some explorer URL setup so that it can also verify. I will be showing you this, but for now we need this key. So let's just head over to the OK link API. Okay, so you can just head over to this docs, but since I know it, I will just go here. You can just see login here. After this, I already have login, but it is not showing. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so this is my ID. I will just copy it and paste it. After you are logged in, just head over to this, and then API management. You have to sign up first. So I already have signed up. This is my API key. The last digit are also hidden, but I will be deleting this after this video and create another one for myself. So just copy this key and head over here and paste it. this is the API key we need for. So once saved, your env is ready. Just make sure to add it in the .gitignore so that it is not pushed to the GitHub, because if you pushed it and your keys are visible, anyone can use it. That is not what we want. And since we will be using chain 8002, we just need to modify this. Okay, so that the ignition, it once it's deployed, create a folder called ignition deployment and chain something name. So it contains the deployment functions and ABI. You can just push it to the repository, no one cares about that, but it is not recommended to do that. So just do that, and after this we need to modify the script. Okay, so we need something like require this for verification, and after that we need to have .env, since we are using env file. Okay, so we will be using .env/config to use the environment variable from our contract. After that, just write constant variable equal to require we need something like hardhat/config to initialize our variables. After that we can just, okay, so the var is a reserved keyword for, I guess, JavaScript maybe, that's why it was giving error. So we just convert it to wars, then just write constant okay link key, because we need that key. Then what dot get it from the env file, just copy this name and paste it here and just content comma. Okay, so this is this. After that we need to set up the little changes. Okay, so Solidity, after we need to do this, then compilers and this. By the way, this code will be available, so you can just copy it from there if you don't want to write with me, but I will prefer it so that you know what is going on. Okay, so I guess we were using 24 or 25. Let's just go back a little. Okay, 24. We can just go. So we are using strict deployment feature. It is recommended. We can use like this also. I guess the greater than sign. By keyboard keys are a little weird, so I need to know which one is which. So okay, so we don't need currently that. We can just use strict params, and after the version we can just write some setting feature to optimize our code. You can just search for it, what is Hardhat optimizer, and it will show you that how many times should the code be run. Like the initial run should be cheaper for gas cost, then after a while the gas cost will increase for the contract. But if you try to make it runs more, like optimization run is increased, the cost will be higher in the start and then it will decrease. It is something like that, but you can just search for it and know what is what. So we will not be getting into this, just write optimization. Okay, so optimizer, then enabled. And I will just be setting the runs to basic, which is already set up in the remix. We can use remix also for this, but since currently the testnet Amoy is not publicly, I guess remix doesn't know about the network, so we can just get into the problems with this. After this is set up, we can just comma it and write networks. We need to define Polygon Amoy also here. Polygon Amoy. I have created a name for it. We need URL, which will be process.env.rpc URL. Okay, so the accounts we require, then this and then white process.env. Okay, so what is the name of the variable? Private key. Just copy this and paste it here. After this, okay, so it is set up, and after this we need to set up the ether scan so it can verify. Let's just comma it and then write ether scan. After this we can just insert the API key here, but since we are not using ether scan and the verification key is required in Hardhat in the form of ether scan, we need to define our custom contract. We can just write Polygon Amoy and then just paste this address, just this env variable here, comma. Then after that we need to define the custom chain for it, because Hardhat still doesn't recognize this network, so you can just write it like this. Just in the network you can just write Polygon Amoy, same name. Make sure to have the same name so that it knows which network it is identifying. The chain ID is 8002. Then URLs, API URL it requires, and one more URL which is browser URL. So I will just pasting it from somewhere on the internet. You can just get it from the repo. Okay, so just paste it like this. This is the OK-Link API URL from where it will try to post the request from our own machine, and then this is the browser URL. Okay. I am recording this video in multiple parts because I have finding some difficulties due to noise and other stuff. So okay, after the command is copied, we can just head over to change something like I already have modified. Okay, so what I have modified is, we can just copy this command and compare it here. Okay, so we have just remained is the same. In the ignition we have module folder, and then our file name is token.js, so we can just change this to this. And network, you need to write the variable. You need to be careful about the variable, because if you are not getting the correct variable, then it might give you the error. So we just copy it and paste it here. We can just copy this whole command and then just head over to this and just paste it here and then enter. Okay, so okay, we need to set the variable using this command. Just copy it from there. If you have any variable set up like this, you need to paste and save in the terminal using the commands. Okay, so I have only one variable. I will just write npx hardhat var set OK-Link API key. But if you have multiple variables, because sometimes you might need to modify the Hardhat config to have multiple variables, like setting private key from here, not using the env, you can also do that. But since you need to get the key again and again, you won't be knowing the key, and you will be just going to the Chrome and then entering the password, copying private key, then pasting it here. It is a lengthy process, so we just might not do that. Hit enter. It needs a key. You can just, okay, so you need to paste it, not it like this. You will require something like https OK link. Wait, I will just get it from somewhere. Already I have done this, so we need something like I need to find it first. Okay, we need to write it something like okay, let me just find the URL. I just remembered it now that we have to provide this API key within some URL, and currently I don't. Okay, so the URL will be okay, so I just found it. We need this. Okay, so we need to have okay, I guess 0 is extra. So we need to have https:/oklink.com/account, then the API key. We need it to have saved in the env like this. If you just do that one, it won't work, but if you get any error, then you can just do this. Okay, so just copy it from this URL, copy it, and then just paste it, and then hit done. Already it is saved and it is showing that the configuration is done. You can just clear it or not. Just head over to the previous command and hit enter. It is asking that the chain is correct. Okay, just enter Y and contracts are compiled. It is already trying to deploy the contract. Once it's deployed, you will be getting an address in return for a complete URL. So we don't need to have. Okay, so address is returned. Just copy the address and head over to the chain OK link one. Let's just go here and paste the address. Okay, so it is showing that our contract has been deployed by the creator 0x1e something. Okay, let's just verify that yeah, our address is similar. If I show you here 0x1e16c AA. Okay, so we can just okay, I have so many tabs open that might be confusing, but okay, I don't need this. Just cancel this. Okay, so we can just verify here that my address and this address is the same and our contract is deployed. It's not verified, so we will need to verify this using the command. Let's just see what is the verification command. Verify your command using the setting the API key. We already have set up the API key, so this is the syntax which I was using since I remembered it and have written this. So you can just go here and check if you have anything wrong or right, a syntax issue. It is a TypeScript version. You can just go to the JavaScript version and similar, not that much of a difference. Okay, so you need this command or you can just use the npx hardhat initial define sequential deployment. I guess this. Let me check which command is it. Let me just read it later. npx hardhat verify. Let's just do npx hardhat edition verify. Let's just write this command npx hardhat ignition verify. We will write the just use this command. Okay, the p is not space this and npx hardhat verify Sepolia Sepolia Polygon Amoy. It is giving us an error on non-existing deployment. So let's just go. Let's just copy this and see what it requires for the change. Just paste here. Okay, deployment ID. Let's see if we have deployment ID in the ignition. General deployment initialize. I think we need not to get complex from this command. I will just show you another command which I found and remembered. Just write npx hardhat verify and then paste the address. Okay, so I don't remember the address. Let's just copy it from the chain. Just copy the address of the token. We just paste the address and then network params network and the variable name like Polygon. And be careful for this. It needs to be similar to the script of hardhat. Just hit enter and it is just skipping this and then submitting the verification on the chain. After it is submitted, and then we will be notified that our contract is verified. We can just go and refresh and see if the contract is verified or not. By the way, this error can also be resolved from this hardhat. You can just go here and sourceify then do enabled and make it true. Okay, make it true and you won't be getting this blue line error since our contract is already verified. By the way, this link might not work because I see that it's showing only MY, so you might need to just update this also, like write it this or this, then it will give you a correct link of the browser URL. So once this is done, we can just refresh it and check, and after that you can see that the contract is now verified. This is the contract code of the ERC20 file which is inherited. And okay, so we can see this is our no, this is not our contract code. Let's see. We need to verify since the contract uses ERC20 and it is using so many contract to inherit it, so we might not. This is a ABI, we can use it on the front end to call the contract. So this is contact sold and this is the interface, the draft. Okay, so this is our contract erc20.sol. Our file name is this, but you need to make a good file name so that you can identify your own file, since there are so many erc20 and I have also written my file erc20.sol, so that's why I was confused on which is my contract. So you can just go read contract. There is allowance function which is already built in the ERC20, which gives permission to the user to use your balance on behalf of yourself. Anyone can use it if you allow them. Then let's check if this our own address has this token or not. If not, then we will be getting this token. Okay, so it is showing that we have 0 token, then decimals places is 18, name is my token, mtk, total supply 0. We can just write and connect, no, we need to connect the MetaMask wallet. Okay, so transaction is open, then just connect this. Okay, so mint, we need to mint it, but for that we need to just copy the address and paste the address, then amount I will be minting 12 token. Once you hit confirm, it will try to mint it. We just need to wait. Okay, after some time. Okay, so it is confirmed, means the network is performing well. We can just go to the read contract and then query it. Okay, so it is showing this balance. It is just 12 token and 12 token. This is just the way, like it's E2 way. Way is the smallest symbol of the token, so it is still 12 token. Okay, so I will show you another trick. It is not a trick, but you can just import this contract in your MetaMask and send your balance from there, not just going to the URL, then connecting wallet and then sending balance to someone. If you already minted some token and you want to share it with your friend or anyone, or maybe you have a project that requires this token, so you just copy this address and go here, then import tokens, just paste the address and wait for it. Okay, so token symbol is 18 and this cannot be changed. Decimals are 18 and the token symbol is MTK, so just hit next and import it. Okay, you can see that I have 12 MTK. Just click here and you can just see that you have minted this token 28 April 2024. You can just copy the transaction ID and then paste it here and check the transaction details. If you want to verify something, you can check event log, transfer token, that it was minted from the your address, and then event log. You can check all the stuff, but that doesn't concern us. Okay, so you can just send it from here, like put anyone's address here and just send it. Since it requires like a valid Ethereum name when you are pasting the transaction ID, just paste anyone address here, and once you paste it, it will verify that it is an address, and then write how many token you want to send, and then it will be sent to that user. So this is what for this video. We learned how to deploy smart contract through Polygon Amoy testnet and set up the Polygon Amoy testnet, and also verify it and then run some transaction on it. And after that, we just know that how to use the Amoy testnet on the chain. So this is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you find some error or any issue, just comment it and we will try to answer as soon as possible. Thank you for this.